1 in the grid position is Brock. Number 2 is Bond. 3 is Goss in the Falcon. 4 is Jane. 5 is Hunter. 6 is Holland. 7 is Grice. All of these are in Tiranas. Richardson, New Zealand, is next.
10 seconds to go, signals the starter. The national flag unfurled.
The Carter one.
5 seconds to
Number
go.
5 from the second row of the grid. John Goss will try and spear through. He makes a pretty good start. Let's watch him now. The field goes towards the start after he is past. Brock, who made a bad start and is backing more spot. Bob Jane on the outside after Colin Bond. But it's Bond first. And then on the outside of the big Falcon and going hard was Bobby Jane, but it's the Falcon in second spot. And Bond has a long lead as they go for the first of 163 times up Mountain Straight. And the Falcon of Goss showing its great power there as it goes out after Bond.
John Goss now got a tremendous opportunity to carry the Ford flag all the way home. He's the only one that's got any opportunity now. I think Moffat's race is run to a certain extent. Murray Carter is not in contention. But on the other hand, in such a short time already, Peter Brock is leading this race. Is over 1 minute and 17 seconds ahead of John Goss.
John Goss is still carrying the Ford flag pretty well. He's quite a way back, but he's well placed to do well if something goes wrong with those two leading cars. This will be a race that John Goss would dearly love to win. He's been trying for 5 years, and this is undoubtedly the main race on the Australian calendar. He'd love to knock it off. Gossie, probably the most popular driver competing here today at Mount Panorama.
Bear in mind that John Goss is still well placed. John Goss and Kevin Bartlett lost very little time in the pits, and they're poised for success if any trouble afflicts these two cars, or if the co-drivers go too slowly on this central and critical spell.
And the crowd is starting to cheer and to go mad. The 20-deep crowd on pit straight waving their arms in unison as John Goss last pass.
But things are really changing here. Fairly dry down the bottom, but our cameras up top show it's pouring with rain at the top of the circuit, and things are hazardous.
Just aquaplaned across the road along the curve past McPhillamy Park and bumped into the bank bloody heavily. It just rammed into the earth bank, and it got sort of caught in the gutter, and with that blown right front tyre, I just couldn't get it to come back onto the road, and it took about 500 or 600 yards at very high speed to coax it back onto the road. And I kept saying to myself over and over again, you're going too fast, you've got to lose more speed. And in the end, I just seemed to be walking the car down towards Forest Elbow. The magnesium wheel started to break up under the car, and I could hear fragments banging up under the chassis, so I waited for a break in the traffic and drove across to the right-hand side of Mountain Straight and put that damaged wheel on the grass and drove it all the way down on the grass to save it from breaking up.
And in the meantime, Goss has just about finished that changeover, so he's out now, whilst most of his sparring companions, his opposition, are coming in to do what he's just been forced to do.
And in the lead is Kevin Bartlett, the old hand of racing. So badly injured earlier this year in a race at New Zealand. Who would have thought he'd have recovered from those terrible injuries to be in a car leading Bathurst in the closing laps of this race? And what an exciting lap. Oh, talking of excitement, things still happening, cars spinning on the circuit here.
There it is. 1 lap to go. 6.2 kilometres.
A marvellous challenge from Forbes and a tremendously well-judged, well-driven, well-prepared race by Goss, by Bartlett, and by their team manager, Max McLeod.
It is Kevin Bartlett who takes the checkered flag to win the 1964 Hardie Ferodo 1000 for John Goss, and it's an elated John Goss in the pit who at last has won the Hardie Ferodo 1000.